Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well and happy new year to everybody. Just want to keep this short and sweet. This one is regarding music theory and where should you go to learn some, right? So I get a lot of questions about, this chord, this scale, how do I use this, how do I use that, how do I get this sound out of a particular scale or mode. So I wanted to show you what I've been using, and this I've been using for decades, okay? And this is a constant. This is part of my library that will be an invaluable resource to you as well. That you'll constantly be going back to. We all know that music theory and harmony and learning, guitar playing, those kinds of things. If you're, to be a musician, it's a lifelong pursuit, right? So we're always adding to our knowledge base. It's like learning a language. We're not learning, the language in one day, right? We're kind of applying the concepts and words and sentences and sentence structure and that theory. We do it in little bits and chunks. And we add to that every day. So anyway, that being said, these are the books that they're part of my library that I always use. And have been a real blessing to my musical journey that have really opened up a lot of doors when it comes to my guitar playing and advancing my learning. So the first one that I picked up, this is actually a second copy. My original copy is gone. I lost that. But so I had to replace it because this book is so amazing. A very, very complete music theory resource. If you were to get only one book, okay, if you can only afford one book, and this book is actually very, very inexpensive. It says 19.99, but you can pick these up at on Amazon used for a couple of dollars. So is Tom Kolb's music theory book. Okay, so if you can get only one, this is the one that I recommend. Okay, I don't recommend anything else by anyone else except this one. If you want one place where you can get all the music theory that you need for guitar in one book that you can constantly go back to and refer to, and this will keep you busy for years. There's so much in here. So this is a complete method. Okay, very clear, very articulate. There's access to audio files. It used to come with a CD, but this is an advanced, a newer copy. So now you can just go online and download those files. But anyway, so that being said, so if I were to recommend, if you can only get just one book, then this is your book right here. Start with this one. Okay. Then after I started using this book way back in the day, then I went ahead and I got Frank Ambali's books, right? I wanted to delve deeper and deeper into modes, right? Scales, modes, chords, how all of that stuff works together. These books are unbelievable. I mean, I can't recommend these books enough. Again, these books are these are newer copies. I used to have all these books back in the day, but we were the unfortunate victims of Hurricane Sandy, so lost everything there. Anyway, so I went ahead and I just had to replace all these books, right? And these are the ones that I always went back to. A very, very complete resources of information that break down every concept you ever wanted to know, you were ever curious about, how to get a Dorian sound, what kind of chords go over what scales, scale chord relationships, how to create progressions. I mean, it's just insane. Triads, incredible. And Frank is such a great teacher that a lot of fun to read and to listen to. So if I were to add something to this to the Frank Ambali collection, would be buy his Modes No More Mystery DVD in combination with these two books right here. I mean, it's incredible. You're going to be busy, for the rest of your life, as far as your understanding of modes and playing your chords and your scales and understanding those relationships. That's where it boils down to, is understanding that, first of all, the foundation of all Western music is the major scale, and everything derives from there. Once you start to understand how the major scale works, then all of this will open up to you. But Frank makes it very, very easy to acquire that knowledge through his instruction. He's an amazing teacher. Anyway, so so there it is. So Tom Kolb's book, Music Theory, that's the first one, right? Then you can definitely complement that. Again, remember, these are the books like Desert Island books. If you had to buy some music theory books and not refer to anything else because you had nothing else, these are the books that would cover you in every single situation. Okay, so after Tom's book, Frank and Bali's books, and then I found this book, Serious Guitar by Michael Hoffman. Okay, now this book, and Michael uh, makes a very, very bold statement, and and he backs it up. And his statement was that this book here is an entire music education in a single book. Like, bottom line, it's like the claim that he's making is like, well, why go to music college when I've already put it all in here for you. Now this book um, was a reasonable $45. Okay, mailed it to your house. All right. Now when I opened up this book, I actually saw the table of contents listed somewhere, and I can't remember where. I think one of my friends posted it or something. But when I took a look at the table of contents, I was like, okay, he's cramming a lot of information in this book. But when I when I when I bought my physical copy and I took a look, and I started reading these pages, and I saw the power, how power packed and how much information, and how it's just broken down in a very, very articulate fashion, in incremental chunks, in an organized fashion. This book is meant to be followed in order. Okay, so it is. I mean, it really backs up its claims. It is an entire music theory and harmony. It's an entire music education here in one book. If this kind of knocked this book out of the running, right? As far as your Desert Island book, like my first book, if Michael's book would have been available first, I would have bought that. But after I've got, now it's starting to kind of show its, I gotta, make sure I take good care of it, because I hate when the covers start to fall off. That's the only kind of weak side to this book, is the spiral binding, which I'm not too thrilled with. But anyway, this book is so amazing that if you only had one theory book that you needed to get, I highly recommend this book. But Tom's book is still like a serious compliment to this entire series. I mean, so there you have it. You will never. I can almost guarantee you right now, if you got this book, Frank's books, along with Serious Guitar, you'll never need it. There will be no need for you to get another book again. All right, and this has come up because I get a lot of questions of how to use, how do you get this sound, how do you get that sound, how do I use this chord and this scale together, and you know, it's simple once you start to understand that everything derives from the major scale. If you can, once you get a good foundation in the major scale and how to build chords and scales from the major scale, and understand that it's all connected, then this will open up to you. These books will open up the world to you, and everything will start to make even more sense. But don't don't be like don't be one of those guys where it's like, well, if I learn too much music theory, I'll start to sound like a jazz musician, and so on and so forth. That's another fallacy, right? Like, it's not good not to know, right? And it's not going to be detrimental to you to know too much, right? You can never know too much, and you can never know it all, right? I refer to these books every day. Every time I play guitar and I want to learn a new concept, and I want to add something to my arsenal, I'm always going back, right? You always want to go back and pick away, and and dig into the layers, right? This is like an onion. You're always peeling away layers and always finding out that there's a new concept that connects everything else together. Um, and these are an invaluable resource for sure. I mean, this is what does it, right? It's education, it's learning, it's asking questions, and reading and looking up the information and understanding how all these concepts work together, right? So, the dots and the notes on the guitar, they never move, right? It's you that connects all this information together and makes the music, and builds the chords and builds the scales. So I've gone on too much about it. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely hit me up, okay? And I'll be more than happy to answer that. But I can't recommend these books enough, okay? Serious Guitar by Michael Hoffman. Again, very, very bold statement, a complete music education in one book, and that is so true. You'll never have a need to get into debt for hundreds of thousands of dollars going to Berkeley or anybody else. If you follow this is a lifelong pursuit, and it's all right here in this one book. But the Frank Gambale books, the technique books, amazing. Books 1 and 2, they come with CDs if you want, plenty of musical examples, demonstrating the concepts that he's talking about. He breaks it down really easily. And then Tom Kolb's book, Music Theory. This is the foundation right here. Okay, guys, it's getting yourself some basic theory and harmony under your belts, and it'll open up the world for you as far as guitar. The mechanics are one thing, but the theory and the harmony are an entirely different thing. That if you guys can get a handle on both those things and put them together, those are important parts of the formula, right? We have to know how to play our instrument. It is good to know how to pick and legato, and where to put your fingers, and work on different techniques and tapping and all this other stuff. But you have to have the knowledge to be able to apply it, and I can't recommend these books enough. So there's one more book that comes up a lot online, and that's the Rick Beato book. um, and I can't recommend that book. I'm going to go ahead and say, go ahead and pass on that one. He's got a big instruction book that's like this one, and his is like 500 pages, but it's 500 pages of it's very randomly kind of put together in a haphazard fashion, and it's not very good, which is surprising coming from Rick Beato, because Rick Beato is a very knowledgeable, very talented musician, and a teacher, ironically. But um, but the book sucks. It's laid out. I can't even describe it. I wish I had a hard copy. It's only available in digital download. Um, I have it, and I had the 2.0 version. They're up to like 4.0 right now, and it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't purchase a new copy if I were you. It's disorganized. It's uh, it's a lot of charts and chord diagrams, and not they're not explained very well. The concepts are not explained very well at all. Especially it it claims to be for beginner musicians, and it's just very disorganized and not articulate. So a beginner would never be able to tackle that book. Whereas a book like this, you'd start from the beginning, very, very beginning, small concepts, right? And take stuff in small chunks, and you'd be able to learn those, apply those very early on in the game. You'll be able to grasp those concepts and be able to apply them to your own learning and your own music early in the game. So, but yep. Any questions? Just hit me up for sure. All right. Hope this finds you guys well, and it blesses somebody, because I know it sure did to me. All right. Take care.